All right, thank you for coming out. It was a great atmosphere. I want to thank our fans. Just a tremendous showing. Our players were so excited to get back in our stadium with our fans and the band, and I mean just like the cheer team and the dance team and Sparty. It was very special for our group, for our young men and our coaches, and myself included. We were looking forward to that, and we had a very special moment at the very beginning in the tunnel where we were able to recognize the first responders and see them take the field and hear the crowd, and then we took the field. So we're just very appreciative of that, and I know our athletic department worked really hard to set the stage for a great day, proud of our football team for what we were able to get done today. We challenged them during the week to get better and to continue to improve and grind, put the work in the classroom, the film study, and also in practice. We had some physical practices. And we were trying to get the most out of our guys, and they responded to that. They didn't back down from that. They responded to that. We pushed them as hard as we possibly could, and we wanted to start fast. We wanted to start fast and come out here ready to play football. And I felt like our guys, our players, were able to do that. Credit goes to our players and our coaching staff. I thanked our coaches. This morning, our staff meeting at 7 a.m. For the effort that they put in, to get the guys ready to play, and not just the starters, but all of our players. I mean, the walk-ons, all the seniors, the freshmen, everyone. It was all hands on deck, and just really rallying with our staff and our football team to squeeze everything that we could out of them during the week, so that we could come out here today and perform and start fast and show up. A big part of the game of football is showing up ready to play. That's a big part of it, and we did that. Youngstown, Coach Phillips is doing a heck of a job over there. They've got some players. Everyone that you play, it doesn't matter what level, has players. You see that in the NFL draft. They come from everywhere, and they've got some good players. The quarterback, the running back, those guys are good players. I have a lot of respect for how hard they played. We were playing all the way to the end. They were playing all the way to the end. It was a physical game, and so we were able to get it done. We did enough to get it done. And I told the team, I said, listen, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the way we came out. And we were focused and we were ready. And do we have things we need to clean up? Absolutely. And we're going to do that. We're going to do that. We know what we need to fix, and we're going to put a plan together. Offense, defense, especially to fix those things. And we're going to put plans together for individual players and make sure they have something specific to work on this week, and as we prepare for the next one. But I'm excited. I'm excited about our football team, and I feel a tremendous amount of energy from our fans, from our students, from Spartan Nation, behind this football team. And so we're going to continue to grow and get better, and that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. It was funny. I was telling the team. In the team meeting, I said, I coached with a coach many years ago, and he said that coaching would be a great profession if you didn't have to play the games. That's what he said, but that didn't resonate with me. It didn't make any sense. I knew where he was coming from because there's so much pressure, and it's you don't know what's going to happen when you go out there. But that's the beauty of what we're doing. That's why we're here. We're here. We do all this work in the weight room. Run, lift, meet. The practices, everything that we do, to have some very few opportunities to actually play a real game and put it on the line in front of our fans and so many people, and we're built for that. And that's what we look forward to. That's why we put all the work in to be able to play in real games and perform. So it's 24-hour rule, if that, and then we'll get on the tape, and then we'll make the corrections. Then we'll get ready for the next one. Get ready to take the show on the road. I'll open it up for questions.
Coach, you since you've been here, you placed an emphasis on playing fast and effort. Was there a challenge to the guys for the second straight week of scoring on the first play of the game?
We wanted to start fast, and so, but it's about execution, and when things look good in practice, we feel like they should look good in the game, and we didn't know if we were going to start the game on offense or defense. You just don't know. But we were able to get that done. It was excellent execution, very good design, with Coach Johnson and the staff, and that's the expectation is to be able to execute a play and take advantage of the opportunities that we have out there.
Coach, when you have a player of Jaden Reed's talent, how much do you think that changes Coach Johnson's philosophy offensively? Because he's obviously not just an average, okay receiver. He's an extraordinary receiver. How much do you think that changes what Coach Johnson's philosophy is offensively?
Well, we want to have balance on offense, and we were able to get that done. Jay is a very experienced play caller, and it matters who you're playing with. It matters who's on the field, like what type of players you have. That makes a huge difference. And so you always want to make sure that you get players the ball where they can make plays, they can be effective. And so obviously that factors into your play calling and the game planning during the week. Because the game is called during the week. And then we make adjustments as we go. And so obviously you want to be able to get your players the ball that can make plays, that can win one-on-one, and we're able to get that done today.
Mel, right here. You've mentioned a couple of times starting fast and showing up and everything. I know you coach the standard is the standard, but I'm sure you've also been around games where, like this, with an opponent like this, where maybe teams don't start the sharpest. Was that then intentional on offense and defense, just the aggressiveness of the play calling? I'm talking about the flea flicker, and I think Henderson comes on a pressure and gets a sack on the first defensive snap. Were those aggressive calls sort of intentional to set the energy right away for this game?
Yeah, the plan was to come out and attack and be aggressive, and the opponents change, but the standard does not change, and so. What's the difference? There is no difference. We got to come out. We got to set the tone, and we have to establish, how the game's going to go, and whether it's on offense, defense, special teams, and we got to call our stuff, and we got to execute our stuff, and do it fast and be physical with it, and be in attack mode. That's the way we need to play. I don't know any other way to play. I don't know how else you would go into a game and what other type of mindset that you would have other than that, regardless of who you're playing.
Mel, over here, with what you're getting on the ground and also today through the air and with the stable of running backs, are you starting to be curious about the potential of this offense, what it could become, and what do you think it can be? Well,
we showed that we have some balance. We have some depth at positions. And we have guys that can make plays, guys that can execute the offense, and we haven't reached our full potential yet. And what does success look like is that we reach our full potential, as a football team in all three phases. And so we have room to grow. Offensively, we have room to grow. Defensively, and certainly on special teams, we have room to grow, and we're going to continue to work to improve. To see what else we can do. what more can we do? Who else can make plays for us? Who else can we get involved? And that's during the season you want to improve and get better every day and every week. Just keep making progress, keep gaining ground. It's a process, is what it is. We have a process, and we stick with the process. And it's I've talked about it before. It's the aggregation of marginal gains. Every player getting a little bit better every day, and when you add that up, then your team can get better. And so, we haven't reached our full potential as a football team, and the season is still young. It's still early, and so we'll just see. We'll just see. How we end up, but we're desperate. We're a desperate football team, and hungry to get better. That's with extreme intensity and extreme focus and attention to detail. I mean, there's a sense of urgency and a sense of there's hunger and there's a sense of desperation, to get better as fast as we possibly can. And so I credit to our players. They respond to the challenge because it just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. In order to get better, you have to do something. You got to work. You got to be intentional about it, and that's what we've been able to do so far. We need to continue to take these next steps.
We'll go Chris, then Matt, and Matt to wrap us up.
Mel, it's very rare that you see two high school teammates at the same level, playing at the same level that both Jaden and Peyton are right now. How much do you feel like, one, that maybe helps them on the field, and two, how much do you think that helped Peyton in terms of winning that job that 6 or 7 years that they've worked together?
Yeah, I actually that's never crossed my mind, actually. I don't know. You would have to ask them about that because that hasn't factored into, to our thinking in terms of, who plays and who doesn't play and how much they play and what plays we call and all that, because, that's really not, it's not necessarily, relevant. It's all about the production, what we see, in practice, in our practices. But, I think it's a great story. I think it's a great story to tell, and I think it's something that I think people would be interested to know, how they feel about that.
Do you see a chemistry between them, though, in the passing game that with the timing, you work that many years together, it's very rare to have two players working 6, 7 years together to build that kind of timing at those positions?
Yeah, I mean, I see execution, and whether that's chemistry, for me, it's too early to tell that. For me, if that's actually, if we want to call that chemistry, because chemistry is also a process, and we work on that as well. Connection with our team, our coaches, players, the connection that we have, and it's important that we have team chemistry throughout our entire team, because you have to be able to count on the man next to you to do their job, and he's got to be able to count on you to do your job, and there's trust in that. If you can get the trust and you have the chemistry and the guys care about each other and they're not just playing for themselves, but they're playing for the man next to them, now you got something. Now you got a football team and not just a collection of players. And so that's what we're very intentional in building a cohesive football team that's very unselfish, that plays together, and that's this was a step in the right direction. I think you're seeing a team grow, and that's very important. We have to do that.
Now, you've talked a lot about the importance of building depth, and today you were without a few defensive ends. Beasley, Jordan, Tank Brown was not in there. you get a sack from Petrowski, some other guys step up. How important was it, and how would you gauge the way those guys played, even missing a few guys up front?
Yeah, I mean, I look forward to seeing the tape, but I know that there was tremendous effort out there. Guys played strong, they play hard, they care. I mean, the care factor is high. I mean, very high with those guys, and what we saw on the field is what we see in practice from those guys, and we know that we go into the out of season with the running and the lifting. We go into the preseason camp and into our preparation, knowing that we're going to need depth. And we're going to need guys to play in games. We know that. We know that whether it's the fourth end or the fifth end or sixth end, we know that at some point he's going to have to go in. We're going to need him to go in the game and play winning football for us. And we know that, and so we're coaching all those guys to do that. And so there's no surprises on the field from our standpoint. You know, we know what to expect, and that's from a coaching standpoint. That's a big difference. People say, what's the difference in like where we are now as compared to where we were maybe a year ago? We know our players a lot better, and they know us, and so we pretty much know what to expect from our guys when they step on the field. We pretty much know what they're capable of doing, and like X, like that play that X made, that one-handed interception, like that was a spectacular play, and I'm not saying that I was expecting him to go up with one hand and snag it like that, but I was expecting him to be in position to make the play. You know what I mean? Because he does it in practice on a consistent basis. You know, so it's I'm excited to get on the film and get ready for the next one, because this is a fun team to coach. It really is. The hard work does pay off.
We have one final one with Matt.
A quick one to start, Mel. Do you have an update on Elijah Collins? We saw him on the sideline with the boot.
I do not have an update. He ran well when he was in there. I don't know. He looked quick. He ran behind his pads, and he did a nice job. And so I'll get an update here, this evening or whatever, and then we'll see what happens tomorrow, and then we'll go from there.
I guess a bigger question. We saw what Kenneth did last week with 23 carries, smaller role today, bigger one for Jordan, and then Elijah gets in there for a series. I guess how do you view the running game when you have the ability to attack with these, 3 guys, really 4 guys, 5 even today?
Yeah, we need to have multiple backs to be able to go in and be productive for us. We need to be able to keep our guys fresh, and we need guys that go in there they need to be able to run the ball, hit the hole, understand the power of the play, and we also need them in pass pro. They need to be able to step up and help protect the quarterback, and we need guys to be able to get out in routes and catch the ball. And those guys, all those guys you mentioned can do that. And so how do you get multiple guys ready, during the week? It's important to be able to do that, to get multiple guys ready. And I tell you what, some of the best teams that I've been on, and some of the best offenses that I've coached against, they have multiple backs that are fresh, and they're not all the same. That puts a lot of pressure on defenses. When you got a fresh back there, and he's not the same type of guy as the guy who was just in there. That's difficult to defend. So we need to continue to grow in that area, and we need to have tremendous depth at that position.
All right, Coach. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for coming out.